Hey there, everyone. This is Gary, and I want to thank you for being part of the Get Fast community. Truly the better part of this whole thing. So thank you. We've been going through some of our old installers and fixing up some problems. There's a few things I wanted to point out to you. One of them is fairly large, and I can only just say I apologize. It was an attempt to better something, and it just did not work out well. Okay. It did not work, but it just caused so much problems that I truly am apologetic for introducing it into the stream. And essentially, the first thing we're going to talk about here is the ComfyUI installation. Now, this was working great before when we just had it as normal. And then I tried to introduce the update to using Conda with it, changing it to a Conda installation, and the purpose for that was that it would grant us access to things like sageAttention and flash attention in an easier manner. It's very difficult to get all of these things into a format that is extremely accessible for everyone. And one of the benefits of using a Conda environment is that you can force the Python version. So either someone doesn't have a correct Python, you can force the correct Python, something that you cannot do with a normal Python virtual environment. And I just decided, I went down the path of saying, you know what, let's try to make it more accessible. And honestly, I think that's kind of where we fell off our core values. I talk a lot about Pinocchio and these kind of things that try to do it all for you. And I think I fell a little bit into that trap of thinking like, well, I get a lot of messages during the day, same thing. People can't get stuff working. And the temptation is to say, well, let's just make it extremely more robust. But this channel has always been under the assumption that you are smart enough to figure this out. Okay. And that with the assistance of this page and with the installation tutorials and with the teachings, that you can figure out some of these things. And I think we drifted from our core mission there. So the bottom line is we created that manual install, and we changed it up, tried to use a comfy install, and really it's just caused issues with things not installing correctly, problems with updates. It's not that it doesn't work, but it has just made it more complicated. It actually had the exact opposite effect on that. So what we have done is we've gone back and I have changed it out. I deleted the comfy manual that was there, and we updated this new one, which now specifically uses the Python virtual environment like it did in the past. Now, to use this, you need to have Python 3.10 installed. If you're going to use this one, the 12.6, you need to have Python 3.10 installed, and you need to have the CUDA you need to have CUDA 12.6 or greater, 12.6 or 12.8 to use this. Okay. Again, I just recommend using 12.8 because everything works backwards. If you have a different Python on there, you can still always use the 11.8 because CUDA works backwards. So even if you have CUDA 12.6, you could still use the 11.8. Just the main thing is, you need to have, if you're going to use a 12.6, which will install your sageAttention and it will install your Triton, it will install your accelerators, you have to have Python 3.10 installed. I no longer forces it for you. So that will fail if you don't have that. Okay. Onto the bigger thing about how to, what the ramifications of that is. This is where again, I'm just truly apologetic. You're not going to have to, you might have to actually completely reinstall your ComfyUI, which I know is burdensome. Let me get over here so I can show you this. So, here's what I would do to save you a lot of time. Okay. You're going to have to download it, and you're going to end up needing to delete this ComfyUI folder. Okay. Just to make sure everything is good. But before you do that, I would go into your ComfyUI folder. I would click on my models and I would just copy them. I would try Control C. Okay. And then I would just put them in another folder, maybe put them on my desktop or put them somewhere, make a folder. Okay. A temp folder, and just copy it over to there. And that way, all of the models that you have spent your time downloading, they're going to go back into that. Okay. You can try the same thing with the custom nodes folder. But the problem with copying your custom nodes folder is that some of them will install, some of them won't. So unfortunately, some of the stuff you're going to have to do by hand. But again, it's not going to be a big deal because once you load up ComfyUI, you'll just go to your ComfyUI manager at the top, click under install missing nodes, and it will show those. Okay. And then what you can do is just copy that model folder back in once you reinstall it. So essentially, go in here, you would copy your models, put them elsewhere. Then you go back out to here and you would delete this file. Okay. You just delete the whole folder so that we're starting fresh. Okay. Then go ahead and you will install the new one on there and it will recreate this. Then you go back in here, copy your models back in. That's going to save you all that space. I mean, you won't have to download it again, but you will have to reinstall some stuff. If you're running the Wan2.1 model manager, run that again and just install the dependencies and that will work for you. So again, all I can do is just humbly say that it was good-hearted, but it just was the best for our community. So I take that upon myself. Okay. Now, second thing that we fixed is the rope origin. It's not that it was broken, but people were having trouble with it where they're getting messages that say, can't find the HTML file. The reason for that is when you right click on something, what it does is it automatically, when you right click and say run as administrator, it automatically goes to your system32 folder. Okay. In my old stuff, I wrote that script probably a year ago. The old stuff, I didn't have as much knowledge as I have today, and I missed out on some certain things that make it run back to the current directory. So that works if you just normal click on it. If you right clicked on it, it has trouble finding it. Okay. I fixed that. It doesn't matter now. All of my installers have done this now for the last 10 months, but I had to go back onto this older installer and fix that. Okay. So now it doesn't matter if you right click running as administrator, or you just normal click it, it will run. Rope origin is fixed. The last one is, again, the Wan2.1 model manager. I noticed today while using it that when you went to the full installer for it, there was an option. I think I have it here, but there was an option to install full packages, right? So you don't have to go through each one of those separately. And when you did it, it did not actually install the full package that I noticed that today. So actually, I think I might be able to show it to you. So let's actually pop over here. There's our model manager. So that's going to run, and then we'll just pop on over to here. Okay. Yeah. So it was in here, this bundled installs and dependencies. We pressed 4 before it was doing this. Okay. So this actually is the busted one. It was only showing one thing. This is now fixed. It shows everything that it's going to download, and then it downloads. Okay. So if you ran into that again, my apologies, that was just a bug. That is now fixed. Okay. And all of those have been uploaded to the new thing. Okay. If you have any questions, hit me up again. I want to thank you so much for being part of what's going on here. This really is a great community, and I've really enjoyed my time here. So if you have any questions, hit me up. If you need any other installers or having problems, hit me up. I'll look at them. I will try to keep these things updated. And just keep in mind, if you're looking at older packages, there might be little things that need to be updated that I just need to get around to as well. So if you have, if you want to yell at me, that's fine. You can yell at me. If you want to do pat me on the back, you can pat me on the back. That's great. I'm assuming that the majority of you are very good people and will understand. So we're learning together. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to close this video and we will catch up with you on the other side. Yo.